Tennessee State this week. Obviously, big game, John Mayer Classic. We get a couple of opening statements about this weekend's game and opening up the season.
Well, this game we see the same as every other game. There's no difference, classic or not, Tennessee State or not. We see everyone the same, and we respect everybody the same, and we prepare for everyone the same. So, just so happened, in the first game is going to feature two top programs. We like to consider our program a top program, and Rod Reed has done a good job with Tennessee State, and they're considered by some a top program. So you got two top programs, and that's going to line up and start the season. So it's exciting, and we're preparing and looking forward to it.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about John Mayer and the history that he's done with college football
Right.
and being a pioneer in black
Right.
college football?
Well, you're talking about one of the pillars of black college football, and just a football, excuse me, a football period. Talking about a guy who's done many things and won many games and affected many lives. So whenever you got a gentleman like that you're playing in the game to represent him, therefore you're playing for a legend. And you can't say enough about what he's done for college football, period. Regardless of how people try to tab it, black college football or whatever. I mean, he's just been tremendous for football, period, and for affecting many young men, in their lives. So just a tremendous man and a tremendous effort in what he's done, and you got to praise him for it.
Coach, you can talk about the kind of attitude of the team and how much they're ready to go for week one. And after, obviously, a grueling camp, your camps are always grueling, but what's their mindset like getting ready to just get the pads on and hit someone else?
Well, just like everybody else, they're ready to get after it. But our main thing is we're going to stay in the moment that we're in. And the moment that we're in right now is preparation and the process. And we understand that preparation is part of the process. And that because of that's where we're at right now. And when it's time for us to shift our focus in full to Tennessee State, then we'll do so. But right now it's just all about us preparing and going through the process.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about, actually, just to start off, up in Tennessee, Rod Reed and Teresa Phillips, everyone was talking about possibly making this a future series like it used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Two very competitive teams. Is that something you'd like to look into?
Yeah, let's sign the dotted line and stop talking about it. If that's what they want to do, that's what we want to do. Let's sign the dotted line, and let's get it done. Let's sign it for the next couple years. What's the hesitation? I mean, you got two top programs, and from what I can see, it's a big attraction. Let's get it done. Let's stop talking about it. Let's get the ink and the paper, and let's sign it and make it happen.
Dan?
Talk about having a game like this in opening weekend. There's a lot of things like, to have that prep game, and then week two is actually week one, but to go in and play a program like Tennessee State on opening weekend, talk about that mindset.
I mean, it's the same mindset, Dan. You know me. It's the same mindset that we would have week 2 or week 5, We're going to focus on who we got to focus on, and we're going to prepare for them the same as we prepare for everybody else. So our mindset is always the same for each and every game. Playing Tennessee State doesn't change our mindset on any end.
Talk about everything about the running game, especially. I mean, I know we talk Ike Jack with him being so close to score. How important is it for you to establish a running game, especially in the early part of the season?
Well, it's just important for us to operate our offense, and whatever that is, running or throwing, we just want to operate our offense, And we got many parts that we have in our offense, and we want to use all of them to their full potential. So, just trying to establish a run game is not a main thing. We just want to establish our offense and do what's productive for us and what's going to put us in the best position to win the ball game.
A lot of people, this might be one of the most anticipated seasons of in history. Do the players and the coaching staff get that same? I think this could really be a really good year, or again, are we just stay in the moment mentality right now?
Well, it's a little bit of both. It is some excitement, around town, and it should be because we're a team that work to create this excitement. And the young men on our football team have done a tremendous job of building this program and getting people interested in this program. And whenever you have that, then you're going to have some excitement. Our players are excited because they've put in a lot of hard work for a long time. And so it's good when you have that. And then on the other end, you know, like I tell them, you know, right now, you just got to stay in the moment of preparation. You can't get ahead of yourself or let the excitement cause you to drift off, and then you stop paying attention to the detailed things that needs to be done. So it's a little bit of both, but you know, for us, you know, we're just staying in the moment. We're enjoying the moment of excitement, and we're continuing to prepare and go through the process. So when it's time to line up against whomever it is, we'll be ready.
It hit you sometime 27 wins in 3 seasons, 2 conference championships. I mean, historically, you're up there with Coach Moore, Coach Matthews. Does that hit you? What's going on in 3 years?
No, I don't think about any of that. You know, I don't look at any of it, and I'm not concerned with any of it. The main thing I'm concerned with is just making sure we maximize the full potential of our program, and we continue to build men in our program, and continue to have success and represent Bethune-Cookman and Mary McLeod-Bethune at the highest level.
Coach, talk about what a long week does to kind of throw things off, followed by a short week. How are you working to balance that?
Well, we're staying to our routine. You know, it's a little adjustment, but we have a routine for this, and we've been here before with the long week and the short week, so we have it planned in our program, and we know how to handle it. And you know, thus far we're right on track, so it's no problem. It's just a little bit of adjustment here and there, and the number of plays that you give your players in order for them to be fresh when it's time to play. So, I mean, we're used to it. We've had one like this every year for the last 2 years, I think, or 3 years in a row. So it's the norm for us. It's no problem.
Coach, is there any difference this time with the Classic? It's obviously a little bit different from being in Orlando, where you kind of keep the guys grounded. It's Orlando. They've been there, done that. Does this one have any more influence on you to kind of tell the guys, hey, let's remember we're here on a business trip?
Nah, because we don't get caught up in all the hoopla of everything else. It's a football game to us, and that's it. Regardless of what they tab it or the title they put on it, it's a football game that's played on the green grass and between white chalk lines.
As a coach, how do you approach a team? They're a running team, but the running team to begin with, they have a inexperienced quarterback. Going into that, what's the thing?
We're just going to line up and play. We're going to do what we do, and our full concentration is on us and not them. So, you know, my main concern is just making sure our players are prepared and understand what the game plan is and go out and operate the game plan. Anything else, we don't concern ourselves with.
Game plan. Is it important to try to develop a passing game against these guys?
I don't know. I mean, our game plan is just go out and be productive, and that's the number one thing, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise.
Kind of, you talked about how you and Coach Reed work together to get the series going. What kind of relationship do you have with?
We have a good relationship. I respect Coach Reed. He's done a sufficient job at Tennessee State, you know, and you know, whether if he respects me or not don't bother me. And we've worked to make this happen. We've talked a couple times before, and we were able to get it done. So right now, we're at a point where hopefully we can continue this. Hopefully this is not the last time that we're going to play. I mean, like I answered the question before, everybody wants to see us play year in and year out. Let's make it happen. As simple as that.
What do you like playing against these guys? Not so much that, you know, you want to play against top competition.
And I think they're top competition. I mean, they're one of the top teams in their conference, and their conference is pretty good. I've coached in that conference for years in the past, and so I consider them one of the top teams. They're ranked, I think, in the top 25, and you know, they're holding a high position in their conference. So I would think they're one of the top teams, and you always want to play one of the top teams. That's how I look at it. So we're going to start with them, and we're just going to keep it going. So like I say, I mean, everybody wants to see it happen. I want to see it happen, and I would think Coach Reed wants to see this game continuing to happen. So Lynn and is it Miss Teresa for them? I mean, let's stop all the talk. Let's make it happen. Just that simple.
That's quarterback battle looking.
It's a battle. You know, it's a battle. It's the quarterbacks. I mean, it's just like Rex Ryan got a problem with quarterbacks or something. They got a battle too, right?
You probably have a better situation
I
than
don't know.
Is it a situation where, you know, if you don't, if you have 3, you don't have 1, or?
You got 6.
So how does that work out in the math when you have to?
It's
you have
hard.
to look at all 6 and decide.
I can tell you it's hard.
Well, when you have 6 and 3 are freshmen, somebody's probably going to be redshirted.
It's 3 freshmen?
That's what you told me.
That's what I told you the other day?
Yeah.
Oh. No. Yeah. It's a battle.
Okay, thanks.
Coach,
All right.
security in this league, obviously for you and your coaching staff, you talked about it on Sunday. Can you just reiterate for people that may not know, how good does it feel to have that same staff back for your first time ever to have the same staff back in place, knowing all the heads are together and everybody's on one page?
It's good, you know. It's really good because now everybody's thinking the same, you know. But on the negative end, what people don't realize is that it kind of nullifies the newness that can come to your staff when you might have a change or something like that. But for the most part, it's good. You know, these guys are used to working together now. They know each other's moves, their thought process, just like the players, and it's really good. And I tell you, I got a tremendous staff. God has blessed me to have tremendous people here and that know how to work and know what our goal is, and it's really good. You know, it builds that continuity that you need to be successful, and it also builds, you know, a trust in each other and an understanding, like I say, with the way of thought with each other. So it is a good thing. The only thing that kind of, like I say, takes away from having any change is that newness, you know, that kind of freshness that you may have with a coaching staff. So, but for the most part, it's a good thing to have.
This is one from my game program feature. Matt Johnson's having a pretty good run over in Germany right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been following it, but is it kind of cool to see him, one, having success in the field, and also two, getting a chance to live in a different part of the world and
Yeah.
everything? Like, what's that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it shows the type of young men that have come out of this program in this university, when they can go abroad and represent themselves first, their families second, and Bethune-Cookman third, you know, at a high level. And it just speaks volumes about the type of young men that come out of this university. So him having success doesn't surprise me. It's just a continuation of what he's been doing, you know, since he's been here. And, you know, I think I got word the other day that Pat Brown, one of our ex-players as well, and one of the guys who was one of our first graduates, you know, under my helm of graduating from graduate school, is over in Germany and lighting it up too. So it just goes to show that, you know, we have student athletes who can still play the game, and we got student athletes who develop themselves into men, and they develop all the discipline and detail that they need to be able to go and be successful abroad. So it speaks volumes about those guys, as well as, I think, our program, because they represent it very well.
You also had a league high 7 in the Arena League last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bethune-Cookman and Cincinnati, I believe, at the tops.
Right.
What's that mean? I mean,
And like I said, once again, it just speaks about the hard work and the type of student athlete that we're getting here in our program. And whenever you can get those type of guys in your program on a continuous basis, it leads to success. So, but the thing that's exciting about those 7 guys, all of them graduated and got their degree. So that's a plus. So that lets you know they're being competitive off the field, in the classroom, and then they're being competitive on the field as well. So it just speaks volumes about the operation here in totality at our university and what we're doing in athletics and in academics. And I'm very proud to say that our young men are being successful, and it's tremendous to see that.
Coach, thank you. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks.
thanks.